Welcome back to the sixth episode of Mindless.
I
See,
can't
I
even
know
keep
it
track
this time.
anymore.
I know it this time. So, Eva and Seneca are gonna be recording today. Eva is getting settled down in her new house, so she doesn't record for the next few weeks. That's why. So, today we are doing underrated and overrated things and like
At least,
whatnot. There's
at
a
least
few
I'm back
controversial
now,
ones.
though.
There's a few controversial ones, so maybe everyone's gonna hate us after this. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
either.
So do you want to go first, or do
What?
you want me?
Uh, you can go first. Wait, what excuse did you give for my absence last time? Did you just not mention it? Was I just gone and no one said anything?
No, I remembered it right, but right when we were doing the outro, I was like, wait, I didn't say that Heather was gone this.
I was just gone. No one said anything. You should have just. You should have just.
You died from all the
Yeah.
trolley problems. You were the person who died during.
Yeah, I was that person that y'all ran over. You should have just you should have not said anything at all and just pretended like I never existed. just
Okay.
like, who? I'm sorry, I don't know that
Don't
person.
make her. Okay. So the first thing I put on my list, I find mac and cheese overrated. Like, it's good. No one's saying mac and cheese isn't good. Let's make that very clear. But everyone like puts it at like the top of their list for foods. And I like it, but the boxed macaroni and cheese, or the times I've made it from scratch, or the times that other people have made it from scratch, it's good. But it's not like great like everyone describes it. I like microwavable mac and cheese better than any type of mac and cheese. I don't know why.
I
Like,
think
I find those to be more delicious than the ones that people make at home, or the ones that my mom or I or whatever like make out of like a boxed mac and cheese. Those aren't very good unless you're like starving. So I find mac and cheese pretty overrated because it's sort of kind of like it's like everyone talks about it like it's the best thing ever, but honestly, it's just like another food in my opinion, and it's not really my go-to for most restaurants. So
I think I think it's a nostalgia thing.
yeah,
Like a lot of people had it when they were younger, growing up. I know, for me, I don't really like microwavable mac and cheese. That's not super up my alley. Like I just don't like the way that cheese tastes. But like the Kraft box mac and cheese, while it is it is, to be fair, pretty like crud quality mac and cheese. It was something that I would have when I was little, right? And so I have a lot of good memories attached to it.
mm.
So even though it's like not necessarily like good food, like I like it because it's like nostalgic and it, makes me happy, right? So I think this part of it is that. Also, have you ever had like a really good, not you make it, but somebody else made it? Like not like a restaurant, but like a person,
Homemade
like
type of
like a
thing.
homemade, really good homemade from scratch mac and cheese that has like bacon in it and like breadcrumbs on the top, and that's been like baked in the
Yeah,
oven, because that is so good.
that's
Literally.
good, but like the one person that I know for sure has made it for me, one of my like family friends, when they make it, it's pretty good, but I definitely go for the mashed potatoes more often than I do for like
Oh, I
anything
don't like
else.
mashed
So mac and
potatoes,
cheese is
so
sort of kind of like near the bottom of the list when it comes to like Thanksgiving foods, you know?
that's fine.
So
I don't actually like a whole lot of mac and cheese. Isn't what I would call a Thanksgiving food. I rarely have
well, I mean,
mac and
but
cheese during
like
Thanksgiving.
some people have it there
Yeah,
sometimes, but
yeah.
yeah.
It's like one of the common sides for like a main chicken dish.
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
you know, I guess this technically is my hot take of the day. I don't really like Thanksgiving food. Like
Same.
I'm not super into chicken or mashed potatoes or whatever. Like
Turkey,
I don't like pie. Like, and that's a I don't I mean it's okay. Like a good apple pie is all right. And maybe some, like if someone made some key lime pie, that'd be
Mm.
sort of good. But or like a really good chocolate pecan pie that didn't have too many pecans in it, because I don't like pecans. Um, so just like a chocolate pie, but not like an actual chocolate pie, because those are like super like mousse-y, and I'm not a super big fan of
Mm.
chocolate mousse either. It's just a little too rich for me. I don't know. I guess I'm more of a cake person. I don't like pie. Like it's just kind of like it's eh. Which lots of people, I'm like, I don't like pie, and people are like, Heather, you aren't okay. Um So sort of like, especially my sibling really loves pumpkin pie. I'm not super big fan of pumpkin pie. I mean, it's okay, like I'll eat it, right? But it's not my top choice of dessert. So generally, while I do like Thanksgiving as a holiday, because you get to like
Family
spend time with
gathering,
family and stuff, yeah, that is sort of the only reason I enjoy Thanksgiving, because I don't really like the food that much. Like it's so like it's like meh. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not really
But
my
it's not
favorite.
exceptional either.
So, like yeah, like it's always really well made food. Like it is very good food, because I go to my grandparents for Thanksgiving, my dad's parents, and so my dad's side of the family all sort of gathers around there. They live in Livermore, so we drive up there for Thanksgiving, and my grandmother is obviously a very good cook. Oh, my dad and both of his brothers like are all really good cooks. They're just sort of in different ways. Like they all cook different things. Like my uncle Mike makes a lot of good stuff from scratch, and he uses a lot of vegetables because I think he's vegetarian. I don't actually know. It's something I should know. But they have like a garden and everything, so he makes a lot of really good vegetarian dishes. My uncle Don lives in London, and so him and his partner Emma make a bunch of really good, really rich, like European foods. And my dad makes a lot of much more like sort of traditional, like sort of like traditional American family foods or whatever. He used to make a killer lasagna. He hasn't made it in a while though, but it was really good. He has a knack for like sort of just doing things.
I think the reason why like I like microwavable mac and cheese better is because there's this like 1 week where my mom was like, hey, let's go to LA. It was like the beginning of the new year in like 2019. And I was like, okay, cool. So we go up there, and whatever we went there for, it was like some kind of like event. It got canceled, I guess. And so they keep convincing me like, hey, let's go out to the mall. Let's go out wherever. And I didn't want to go. I wanted to stay there and like just watch movies in the hotel room. So the entire week I ate microwavable mac and cheese throughout the day. Like I'd go down to the lobby and buy it, come back up and just microwave it, and that's all I ate for like a week. Which is pretty sad. But like I enjoyed that week. It was a good like lazy week. So I think that's like more nostalgic to me than like my like mac and cheese when I was little, because I didn't really have it often when I was little. So I think that's why I like it better.
That's I don't know. That's pretty iconic though. Like chilling in a hotel room, eating like trash food and watching TV for like 3 days straight. Honestly,
you've just been to LA so many times. There's like you can only do certain things so many times before you get bored.
I've only been to LA like once, I think. But now I'm going to live there part time, so
you get to go everywhere. It's gonna be fun. One thing we both agree on that's underrated is Little Mix. It's a girl group, and they are amazing. Like, amazing doesn't even describe how good they are. They're each, like, such good vocalists, and they just don't really, like, the US charts, they don't really...
Yeah. Because they're a British girl group, which I forget sometimes till, I like stumble upon like an interview or behind the scenes something where they talk at the camera with really thick accents, and I'm like,
I know,
whoa, because they don't have the accents in the songs. I think because like it's easier to like, it makes the songs a little harder. I don't know why they sing with American accents. Yeah. But they do. Maybe
I appreciate that, because that means we can listen to it.
I think it's more sort of overall marketable to sing with the American accent. But yeah, they had a couple of really big songs like 3 years ago, 5 years ago.
Black Magic and Shout Out to My Ex were pretty big. They were pretty big in America, but the rest of their singles that go up #1 like in all of the countries. I'm talking like India, Brazil, like in the UK, all the like European countries too. They always hit #1 with their singles. But in like US, their last single only hit #6, I think. I mean, given it came out the same week as like Taylor Swift's new album and like a bunch of other songs. So like it wasn't too surprising, but at the same time
that would be a holiday, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is true, I've seen some things about how they just have really poor management.
Oh
Like
yeah.
the people who are
Oh
like sort of like managing them in their publicity are sort of like doing a noticeably poor job at it. Um,
yeah.
Sort of with the
Like they
idea
don't
of
promote their songs whatsoever on their website. And the management, I think after this album that's gonna come out soon, the sixth one, they're switching to a different one, hopefully, because if they
I thought they
don't,
already switched to a different one, but then those managers were poor too.
I think they switched to a different one, but the guy who owned the first one that they were in also has like part stock in the second one.
So he just like hates them or what? Like
I
what?
think so. He doesn't like they don't get much control over the things that they like music videos and stuff like that. They don't get as much control. And
Some
like
of their music videos are pretty good though.
oh, they're pretty good now because after 2018, I think they started getting really good. But that's the thing because there's like reports of their management telling them to go flirt with like radio hosts to get their song on their radio. So that's why like they asked them to do a bunch of that kind of like shady stuff, but they never did it. Or they'd pair them up
I
with
feel
like
like
features that they didn't really like.
I feel
So
like I feel like they're a much easier way to get your songs on the radio than to
yeah.
flirt with the radio. Like literally, if the dude is working in management and publicity, oh, that's a hard word to say. If the dude is working with management and publicity,
English, Heather.
I'm supposed to be good. English is supposed to be one of the subjects I'm good at.
Not anymore.
Oh no, I'm not good at anything anymore. I have no more skills. They're all gone. They've all left. They've faded away with the loss of the brain cell.
English, Heather.
That should be his job, right?
Yeah, but
He
they
should
do
be able to get their songs on the radio. That's like literally anyway. It's stupid. Anyway.
But they just had a concert like a week ago, but it was like only them. There was no crowd. It was like the
Oh,
Meerkats
cause
YouTube
like yeah.
channel. That one was really good.
Oh,
Like
I
not
did.
gonna lie, it was like half an hour, but it was still pretty good.
Hmm.
You're so good. What's your favorite song?
I don't know. Shout out to my ex is very good. I also really like Touch and Power.
Power is like one of my favorites. Not gonna lie.
Power's pretty good. I do like Touch. I like Move was all right too. I like Move some.
Yeah.
Salute is
The
fun.
way they perform it is always so good. Their performances for the Brit Awards, if you've seen them, they're like
I think
insane.
I've seen a couple of them. Yeah, they're pretty good. Let's see. I used to not like No More Sad Songs, but now I do. I like Secret Love Song. It's sad, but I like it. It's a good ballad song.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know. That's a lot of them, right?
Yeah, I like a lot of them from the fifth album. There's a few that I like, but it's a little bit inappropriate, so I don't know if I'm supposed to like talk about it because Joan of Arc was pretty good, but that one's like pretty explicit. Well, not explicit, but like a little bit more sensitive subject. So
yeah,
that one's pretty good. All their songs are pretty good. I'd say my favorite one right now would be Woman's World. Woman's World is really hard to sing, but they always they do so well when they sing it live.
Yeah. I like the ones that are a bit more sort of like have a stronger beat and are a little bit more sort of like poppy. Sort of like for example, Touch and Power both have that sort of really strong, especially in the chorus, like the really strong like instrumental backing, which is the type of music I enjoy. Yeah. So Wasabi's all right too, though. Like it's not my favorite, but there's something interesting about the way they do the chorus, I think.
Yeah.
Woman. I really like Woman Like Me. I forgot about that one.
Yeah,
that one's good. I really like that one.
So good. Oh my goodness.
I love their I love their performances of Woman Like Me too, where when they do like the really like start stop movement during the thing to sort of portray the whole boarding school-esque like idea of it.
America needs to pay more attention to them because they never tour here because their publicity sucks and the US doesn't appreciate them like they should. Like in Brazil, I think that was like one of their last concerts that they did before COVID hit, and everyone knew like every single word to it. But they never go to the US anymore because
I
they
think,
just like, oh, we're more popular in
yeah,
other
they're not,
countries. Like,
which is, I think, it's silly, right? Because the type of music that they're putting out seems like the type of pop that would do pretty well. I mean,
exactly.
it's maybe, I would say not old. I would say it's not quite as like, it doesn't have like that weird like modern influence that a lot of the stuff that's doing well right now has. But it has a lot of that sort of like, again, old is the wrong word, but sort of like from a couple of years ago pop vibe that people still, I think, like, because it's a little nostalgic, and it's still good music, right? So I think, I don't know, I think they would do well, because I think their music is very good,
Yeah.
and I think it's pretty marketable, right? I think it's the type of music that a lot of people would like. Hopefully, at some point, they, get better
I
publicity
appreciate them
and
more.
stuff.
They're so good. I think like most songs on the radio nowadays is like mostly like rap, or sometimes it's like all very like the beats in it. It's very different from the ones that Little Mix put out now, but like it's such a good song that I'm just like, why can't it make it to the top of the charts in the U.S. anymore? You know, and it only stays there at number 6 for like a few hours. And I'm like, it drops back after that. I'm like, that's so upsetting because
Yeah, it seems
it's such a good song.
Yeah, I think they should be. This is this episode is just gonna be like mostly Melanie and Heather just talking about Little Mix.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the ones.
Honestly, I have no problem putting that out. If people don't like it, like, they're underrated. The end. Would you like to talk about your overrated food item that you have put on the
Sure.
list?
I really don't like, and also don't kind of get the whole sort of like craze. Craze is the wrong word. Craze makes me sound like a boomer. But the whole like how everyone, oh no, somebody is opening the garage. I don't know if you can hear it on your side, but I can hear it on my side. The floor is shaking a little bit. Um, but like Takis and hot Cheetos, like I don't get it. Like they're kind of gross. I mean, they're like I mean, first of all, regular Cheetos are way better than hot Cheetos. But but like they don't taste like they're bland and spicy at the same time. Do you get what I mean? Like they don't taste like much interesting. It's just you just get like the spicy food mouthfeel. Like it's just the hot food mouthfeel. And so it's just like they don't even taste spicy, they just taste hot. Do you get that? They don't taste spicy, they just taste hot. Like it's literally if you're like, oh, I want my mouth to be several degrees warmer for the next couple minutes, I'm going to eat some of these. Like I don't get it. They're not good. I don't get why people like them so much. They aren't terribly pleasant to eat. They don't taste good. Nothing about them is worth sort of like panting for the next 5 minutes because your mouth feels like it's on fire. I mean, they're not like super spicy either. So I guess they're just sort of like that. They're just boring. They're just boring. They're not good.
I don't really like them.
Anyway.
I can't finish a bag of either, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really bad with that kind of stuff. Okay, so one thing that I find underrated are oranges. You see, everyone's favorite fruit is usually something like mangoes, watermelon, strawberries, but no one ever mentions oranges. And it might not be my favorite either, okay? I will admit, it might not be my favorite. But most days, I will like go grab one, and they are freaking amazing. You can juice them, and they won't taste awful like juiced strawberries, which are super duper sour. You can thing I like specifically remember being overrated, dare I say, is KFC. KFC is like, it's good. Once again, like the whole entire mac and cheese thing, but I prefer Popeyes. Maybe that's me being biased. Maybe that's me having a thing against KFC mashed potatoes because they are very good. Popeyes mashed potato are the best.
I have a
KFC is just like, it's okay.
I actually have a story for KFC that I had forgotten about this, but I've only had KFC like maybe a couple times in my life, right? So I don't know super a lot about it. But one of the times I had it was, I don't know, I think like my parents couldn't pick me up for like a little bit after school, and I didn't really want to walk home or whatever. So somehow I convinced Eva and her mom to let me go with them to Eva's little sister's ballet practice, because she had ballet practice at like the community center or whatever. So Eva had to go, but they allowed me to just sort of tag along. So I did. So we went there and we were like, we did some homework and we chilled out. And we were kind of hungry. So Eva's mom was like, you guys can. So we decided to go down and grab some KFC, because it was just like a little bit down a couple blocks. And we had nothing else to do. We were hungry, so like, let's go buy some KFC. So after nearly being hit by a car, like twice while crossing the street, because we're both idiots, we got some KFC. We like went in, we got like one of those bucket of chicken, like the bucket with stuff in it, and we left. And I don't actually know if I had ever had KFC before this. I don't know, I might have, but like not really that I specifically remembered. And it smelled really good, so I was super excited to like have some of this, because it's also known for being like the reason we're talking about it is because it's like overrated, the fact that lots of people like it and say they like it. So I was like, oh, this is probably pretty good. It smells really good. So we brought the bucket of chicken back to the community center and sat down one of the tables and got some napkins and started digging into the chicken. And it was good. It was good chicken. But I found in one of my pieces an entire kind of grizzly looking, like maybe this long, like spine. I'm pretty sure it was a spine. They looked like a bunch of vertebrae, and it was all sort of like dark, and you could see them all connected to each other. And it was, like I said, it was like kind of grisly. I mean, it was kind of cool, right? Like
I don't want no freaking like a vertebrae in my chicken.
Well, it wasn't one, but it was several, like connected. It was like, I don't know. I think it was a spine. I have no idea what else it might have been, right? Because it was long and it had like little sections, like little things sticking out of it, right? I don't think I have a picture of it. I did take a picture of it because I was like, what the heck? But I think it was on my old phone.
So picture of like everything, like us at our weirdest moments and whatnot.
But so I saw this and I was like, hey, Eva, look at this. And Eva saw that and she was like, gross. And I was like, I know. And I don't think either of us ate any more chicken after that. I took a picture
after that.
I took a picture of it and showed it to my mom later. And my mom is a scientist. She doesn't like actively do science. She's a teacher, an administrator. She was a biology teacher for many years. And now works as the head of a school in LA. But she thought it was really cool, right? That's been a tangent. Anyway, so that's my story about KFC. I didn't tell it very well. It was not a very well told story. Like I said, my creativity has been yoinked by the bird. But yeah, a little chicken spine in our chicken. So that was a fun time, and we both lost our appetites afterwards. And it was all
Watch KFC sue us if they somehow see.
I don't think they'd sue us. I mean, for what? Like defamation? I'm not telling lies. This actually happened,
a couple of teenagers talking about it. How absolutely horrible for their brand. I know.
Yeah, everyone,
we're just too convincing of people. We're gonna stop.
All of the millions of people that listen to this are just going to be terribly upset. They're gonna boycott KFC because I once found something weird in one of my chicken pieces.
That was today's episode of Mindless. Next week, we're gonna do Percy Jackson. That's this week's episode. I don't have anything more to say. We didn't have a riddle. But if you like Percy Jackson, then come back next week because it's going to be lots of fun. So yeah, bye!